Hey guys, it's a Wednesday, nice bright sunny day in Ontario, but it's only about 10 degrees, so trying to take advantage of the outside before we have our mid-May or early May snowfall on the weekend. Anyway, somebody the other day asked me what I have in my pack, what do I ride with, so I'm going to go through that now. Let me just give a shout out to Craig Turner 01 or 01. These masks work, by the way. Very effective. Only difference is I sealed up the bottom with hot glue and got the mask elastics on with hot glue. Works really well. So thanks, dude. There's your shout out. +1 vote from me. So moving on. What's okay? Mavic Crossride helmet. Fits well. It's a couple of years old. I've got my ANGI sensor on the back for when I wipe out. Make sure that somebody knows where to come and pick me up or pick up the pieces. So I like this helmet. It doesn't have MIPS, so it may be in for upgrade soon. The padding on this is my one issue, that after a while the edges can get a little bit raggedy and sharp, and they can actually hurt when you're wearing the helmet. And I've had to add some internal blue padding foam pieces from my old helmets to get it to fit perfectly. There's a lock on the back that lets you, or ratchet that lets you adjust the size to fit your head, and I have a big head, so I need that. That's one thing. Next important thing is camera gear. This is an Apeman A80 camera. Works really well, 4K. It does 4K 24p, it does 2K, it does 1080p, all the way down to some ridiculously poor level quality. I'm running a Feiyu Tech WG2X gimbal. This works really well as well. I have it set to the strong setting, and it lasts about 3.5 hours on a really rough tumble ride. If it's in the setting that's a little bit less than strong, whatever the next one down is, it'll probably give you 4 to 4.5 hours. This chest harness is just something that came with the Apeman cameras. Works okay. Every now and again these little hooks will kind of slip out. I think I have a backup one of these that I'm going to be moving to just give this one a break. So I can recommend the gimbal. I know they work really well. I'm recording this with a Apeman A77 camera, and on 4K it's a piece of crap. Regularly it freezes, it just stops recording on its own. I have to reformat the media card. I've tried other media cards, and I'm usually buying the high quality ones off of a computer store that I use for business type things, so never had a problem with them except in this camera. So I say just avoid the A77 because it's garbage. This little case lives in my camelback, or my hydration pack I should call it, because it's not really a camelback. It's where I carry the batteries for my cameras. Now the cameras come with these little 1050 milliamp hour batteries. They are 3.885 watt hours. Apeman's ratings are severely exaggerated. You'll be lucky to get 40 minutes of 4K recording with this. You will also get about 55 minutes of 1080p at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. I think this camera does 120. Sorry, the A80 may do 120, but I only use 60 frames and 24 frames at 4K. I have 6 of these, so I have, technically I can go for about 3 hours because I don't trust them much past 40 minutes. I did find these other batteries on Amazon. I've got 3 of them, and they are, let me give you a look. I'll get the name of them and I will post them down below or in the credits at the end. But they are 1350 milliamp hours, and they give you 4.995 watt hours, and I can definitely say they last an hour at 4K. So these are worth buying. They were like $20 for a pack of 3 with a charger that does both mini USB and micro USB ports on either side, so depending on what kind of connector you have in the set. So I've got 3 of those, and this is how I keep them safe when I'm riding. This just sits in my pack. A little bit heavy, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. What's next? Protect my eyes. That's what's next. So this is a pair of Ryder Skyjacks, green. I think they make a black and a clear framed version. I was able to get my local lens crafters to put a pair of prescription tinted lenses in from Oakley in here, just because I like the way these fit. They don't slip off my face. They're very light. Very effective, and I need glasses to see stuff close up, so my GPS and my watch, this rubber padding here and this rubber edging keeps them on your face. Sometimes I forget I even have them on. I've actually walked around with these on and forgot to put my glasses back on. So I don't think Ryder's actually carries these on their website. Last time I checked, they were out of stock. So you can get these off of Amazon US, not Amazon Canada. So this is my general daylight, bright, normal riding eye protection. I've got this pair of Ryder's. These are the Stryders. What's the model number on these? Looks like R something -006. These are polar anti-fog. Now what these are really good for is night riding, evening riding where it starts to get dark, that dappled coloring, or if we go out in a day when it's really overcast and we're in the forest, especially when you get into midsummer. These work really well in bringing everything out. The Skyjacks, they can be a little bit dark, and even with the tinted lenses that are photochromatic on the Stryder line, they just don't change fast enough, so I'll take these with me. Gloves. So I have these Specialized, these are the Deflect H20 gloves, and they're good down to about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. But the problem with them is I wear extra large gloves. These are extra large, but I can't get my hands open enough. So from a mountain biking perspective, when I'm reaching for the brakes, you know, drop a post, when I'm using my right hand to shift with, my fingers are right up against the tips, so it starts to get really cold, and you can see how this is creasing here. So these gloves are okay for a nice easy ride, but if you're going to get out into the trails and really, you know, be moving, I wouldn't recommend these. I would keep these for road riding or riding on the road, because I don't really road ride. What I had to do was I had to get these Fox gloves. These are thicker, and I will wear a pair of these little thin rubberized Canadian Tire work gloves on the inside, and then put my hands in here, and that is perfect. Now these gloves fit really well, except for one thing: they bunch up. So this hair starts to get under my hand, between my hands and my handlebar, and that causes blisters. So this can get uncomfortable after a couple hours, and if they get wet, it gets worse. The bunch seems to be even more pronounced. So I wear these in cooler weather, and if I know it's going to be relatively dry. Problem is, if you sweat or your hands sweat from the inside, it makes these even worse. Now my by far favorite gloves are these Louis Garneau Montello Pro gloves, and unfortunately LG has decided to discontinue these. Now, as I said, I wear XLs. These are the red and blacks. I've worn and beaten the crap out of these. You can see they've been repaired. The fingers are actually starting to tear these little breathing holes. So this is a pair of gloves from 2018, and they fit perfectly. There's no bunching, no matter what happens here. I've never found another pair that are as good, that fit so well, that don't pound the ends of my fingers. Now I was lucky back in 2019, and I found a pair of these green ones off of a warehouse store in the US, an online thing. And now I'm riding with these mostly. Again, perfect fit, extra large. If anyone knows where I can get a pair of these extra large at a reasonable price, you know, we're not talking about paying $1 million for a pair of gloves, Let me know in the comments below, I'd really appreciate it. What's next? Sleeves. So these are just some cheap old MEC sleeves that I used to ride with when it's cold. These last about a year because now I find this elastic has really gotten useless. It's just stretched out and doesn't hold. So I'll either be sewing some regular black elastic in here, or I'll just be buying another pair. I don't know which one is better. My sewing machine queen would probably complain about having to do this anyway, so I think we'll be going to MEC's website and getting a new pair. And this is a little hat that I wear to keep my head warm when we're riding. Fits just well under the helmet, and yes, I know I need a haircut, but we'll get to that after COVID-19 has been banished from our shores. So this is a Salomon product, comes from MEC. Shoes. These are my Scott shoes. They are really well fitting. They're size 45s. I could probably use a pair of size 46. They're vented, so they're not really good for riding in winter or cool weather when it's wet, because you'll just let water in, your feet will freeze. They've got the bows on the side. I've had them since 2018 summer, and they just actually was the end of summer. It was October when I got these, and they work. They fit well, do the job. I'm getting this on the table, so I'm probably going to get in trouble for that. So yes, and if anybody notices, I do have a fetish for camouflage. Yep. So, you know, if I could find a pair of these camouflage gloves, I'd be all set. Now, winter riding. Shimano Dry Shield. So these boots work really well. When we're out mountain biking, it's really snowy and really wet and cold. These are again 45s. I would think 46s might be better. These shoes keep me warm for about an hour. After that, I start to feel it. So it's just a matter of, you know, how cold it is and how much you keep moving. If you can keep moving, you won't feel it. If you stop for any reason, you probably get killed by those. Now, what's in my pack? This is a Mountain Fountain 9-liter pack that I think I got from MEC. I do not work for MEC, by the way. It's just too easy to buy stuff from them. It has a chest strap, so you can tie this off on your chest. It has a waist strap, same idea. You can tighten it up or loosen it up. It has a mesh section. It has clips to tighten up the pack itself, and you have hooks to put things in all the way down, so if you need to carry extra stuff. And it is waterproof, fully waterproof. The flags don't come with it, they're my addition, and there's a little strap that you can hook through the back here if you intend to carry other things or add on to the back of the pack. Now, what's in here? In the main section, we got stickers. You know, you gotta have stickers to leave them wherever, when you're visiting somewhere different. Things to give people to remember you by. Here's my mechanics kit. In it, this is a ski tag clip, so when you need to hold your chain together after it's broken, this is your third hand. Multi-tool, probably the best multi-tool I've ever had. Magnetic chain brake tool on the top. Derailleur hanger for my Ghost Lecter. Kind of hard to come by these days, so I've got two of these, one here, one in my box of spares. CO2 Inflator. I keep mine threaded in slightly so it's always ready to go, and this is the type that lets you add as much air as you want, not the whole dump at one time. Anchovy kit. So it's got a little tool on the top, and the anchovies that you usually have to tap out or dig out. There they go. This worked for me around with all these new versions of this, and you know, just more stuff to carry, bigger. This works for me. I use it. Triple lever tool. What's good about these is that the ends are really thin, On some of the older ones that we used to have back in the 26-inch bike days, the ends were fatter, and with these new tires that are really tight on the beads, on the rim edges, those old spoons are hard to get the tire off, so these work. And everybody knows that those little pieces down there to hook on the spoke so you can move the other lever around. 2 more things in here, 3 more things actually. For a valve screw, just in case your valve screw gets lost, you can clamp it down to your rim with this one. So there you go, right? Here is a valve body remover, so if for some reason you're going to get some sealant in there because you've used it all, or it's run dry and you forgot, somebody has a bottle of it on the trail somewhere, I don't know. And here's a couple of Claritin antihistamines for the guy who gets stung by the bee, or me when my spring allergies start killing me and I can't breathe anymore. I always carry those. What else is in here? Oh, a Crankbrothers pump, right? Works really well. So once you get your tire inflated, you can top it up with this, or if you run out the inflator, you can top it up with this. And this lets you change low pressure, high pressure. Okay, so typically on a mountain bike you're below 30 CSI, so you know this will work for a road bike or roadie as well, right? What else is there? Oh, thanks to Seth Bike Hacks, my shit kit. Wipes, wet wipes, and toilet paper. Never leave home without it. You never know when that cup of coffee is going to come back to get you, or that gas station sushi is going to bite you in the ass. Literally. Topeak tire gauge. Presta and Stryder valve switch, so you can switch back and forth between the two. Works really well. On these 27.5 and 29-inch tires, it gets really hard to tell how much pressure you got in there. This will tell you for sure. Again, thanks to Seth, mustard for the cramps. Yep, we tested this last weekend and it works. Makes a difference. I think I got a couple of backup antihistamines in there as well, just in case. Spare master link, even though I already have one on my XT chain. This is, you know, gold. So let's see what else is in here. A couple of Velcro straps. I think I have 2 of these in there. They're just in case you need to fasten something down, you know, tie somebody's leg to a splint. Who knows? These things, they weigh nothing. They can always come in handy. Oh, and the big knife. You never know when you're gonna have to try to cut a cable, you know, cut through some string, or entice or encourage someone, motivate them with a big hot knife to get them moving again. It's amazing how people start riding with no problems when they hear about the big hot knife cauterizing a wound. Just remember that. What I really should put in here is a small first aid kit, but I think that's what 911 is for. Even though now in our COVID times we should stay away from that, because these first responders are busy with people who are really sick. Here's some glucose tabs for when you're burning out or bonking. This will get you going and keep you going for another half an hour. And here's just a glasses case to stick these regular glasses in while I wear my riding glasses so they don't get crushed. Because every now and again I fall and I roll and I could kill them. What else? Last but not least, Mr. Mavic Mini. So here's the phone that I run it off of. It's a Moto Z spare phone that I had. Here's the controller. And here's the actual multi-rotor itself. So what's good about this is, every now and again, especially with all the traffic we've had of late, trails change, trails move, trail forks doesn't quite have the latest information. You know, if you have the ability to fly over where you're going to ride, and with this our tree cover hasn't grown in yet, so you can see all the trails. The minis are a great tool for just flying out there and taking a look. You can record it, you know, look back, you can follow trails, see where they lead, see if it makes any sense, because, you know, like last year we ran some trails that just went nowhere. They were on trail forks, but they weren't used, they'd been overgrown, they'd been fenced off. If I'd had this back then, you know, I'd have known not to even bother. So it also gives you the ability to put a video together to show people, you know, why they want to avoid a certain area. So this is worth it. So that's all the stuff that I can think of. What you'll find is, you know, we're all out there mountain biking, we're all out there having fun. All this extra stuff typically is what starts to happen when you start riding as much as we do 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. Getting these videos out, it takes time, takes money, takes effort. You can spend, you know, 2 hours riding, and then you can spend the next 10 hours trying to put the video together. So you guys, I hope this is helpful. If you have any comments, down in the comments below, check out my Patreon link. You know, right now is a tough time for people to be handing out cash. I ride for the fun of it. I do these videos because they help other people, hopefully. I got my first shout out at our favorite Loblaws parking lot the other day. One of the guys in Toronto who is using the videos to go explore the trails recognized us getting out to the truck and setting up, so he came over 6 feet away to say hi and to say thanks, and you know, that made my day, to be able to see that I actually in person helped somebody out. So, you know, you guys want to help me out, just make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe, throw some comments. If you're really feeling generous, the Patreon website's there. Check it out. If you need anything, want me to check out anywhere, I'm gonna be, you know, responding to as many comments as I can. My plan is to ride as much of the Ontario region as I can this spring and summer. I think it's going to be a while before we can get back into the US. So I would say, everybody, stay safe, 6 feet apart or 6 feet under, your choice, and be good, do better. See you on the trail.